It is the first big test for the current Ohio Supreme Court, a lawsuit challenging the special August election that Republican lawmakers have set up, asking Ohio voters to make it harder to change the state constitution. The group that's taking the state of Ohio to court says lawmakers are breaking the law.
So why do they think an August special election is illegal? Well, NBC4 Investigates Jamie Ostroff is getting answers. She joins us now with the latest on this, Jamie.
Yes, I did speak to the people who are suing the state of Ohio, and I also tried to speak to the people being sued. That's Secretary of State Frank LaRose, and the spokesperson for his office told me they don't comment on pending litigation. A 15-page complaint before the Ohio Supreme Court accuses those in favor of an August special election of hypocrisy.
We are basically just asking them to abide by their own law.
Dennis Willard is a spokesman for One Person, One Vote, the group behind the lawsuit. It was formed specifically to campaign against the only issue on the August ballot, an amendment to Ohio's constitution requiring future amendments be passed by 60% of voters instead of a simple majority.
We would appreciate if this issue is going to go before voters, that is put before voters when turnout is going to be higher, like in November.
The group argues that an August special election on the issue is illegal, thanks to a law that just recently passed.
Basically, 5 months ago, this legislature passed a law to ban special elections in August.
The law has narrow exceptions, but they only apply to local elections under specific circumstances.
Well, I thought it was a strong complaint because they had a strong case.
Stephen Steinglass is a leading expert on Ohio's constitution. He points to an Ohio Supreme Court precedent from 1897.
It said the statute law of the state can neither be repealed nor amended by a joint resolution of the General Assembly.
Meaning the only way for lawmakers to legally set an August special election would be to change the December law by passing a bill, a piece of legislation that the governor can either sign or veto. But when lawmakers tried and failed to pass a bill for an August election, they passed a joint resolution instead.
So a joint resolution requires a 60% vote in each house of the General Assembly. The governor plays no role whatsoever in this. Governor doesn't sign it, can't veto it.
Now, just about an hour ago, the state's answer to the complaint appeared in court records. It denies most of the central allegations, saying One Person, One Vote failed to state legal claim for which relief can be granted. It states they don't have a clear legal right to even request relief, and even if they did, it says the state does not have a duty to provide the relief that the lawsuit is asking for. Jen.
All right, Jamie, thank you. And a reminder that Ohio is now under new voting laws. You have to show a photo ID at the polls to make your vote count. Also, mail-in ballots now have to arrive within 4 days of Election Day instead of the previous 10. If you want to vote by mail, you have to submit an application at least 7 days before the big day instead of 3. The new laws only allow 1 ballot drop box per county. It's installed at the County Board of Elections. Also, no more in-person voting the Monday before Election Day.